You are watching this video right now. Maybe you have seen some of my other videos or some other videos of some cleaning professionals and thought to yourself, you know what? Why would I even bother with something like that? Because it doesn't seem like there are that many jobs that pay that well. I think these people are full of caca. I think they are lying. I don't think that they are telling the truth, but I'm here today to tell you and to explain to you the different ways that you can earn really excellent money doing what I do, cleaning for others. So, for those of you who are new to our community here, hi, I am Stephanie, and I teach people how to keep their homes cleaner with less effort. And I also help aspiring cleaning professionals like yourself learn the skills to earn great money on a part-time basis. So here we go. So I am going to just kind of go through some different ways that either I myself have made money, earned money that are a lot better than what you're seeing when you are looking online. So if you're looking on job sites, not that I would, frown on any job sites, but I will just say if you go onto a job site like an Indeed or something to that case, and you just type in housekeeping, you might find cleaning jobs and cleaning roles that are not well paying. And if you are in a space where you think that you really want to get into professional cleaning and you really feel like you need that like side by side guidance in order to learn the industry to one day go off on your own and make the $20 to $100 an hour kind of rate, that is fine if you feel like you need to do that. I will say that my experience working within a housekeeping department at a hospital facility did teach me so much, but I wish I would have left sooner, branched off on my own, and taken the leap and really given myself that like confidence booster of just going for it. And I am here to tell you right now, right today, if you've already worked in a housekeeping department at a medical facility or something like that, you probably already have the skills to go ahead and branch off and do one of these ways that I am going to just suggest to you to try. Maybe you don't want to try all of them. Maybe you will find one or two that you're like, ooh, that sounds really interesting. I think I'm going to give it a go. So here we go. And as I talk about each of these different ways, I'm also going to talk about the realistic earning potential. And I can only speak to my local economy here in Midwest USA. Every economy and every neighborhood is going to be different. So I have heard other people just say, if you're trying to figure out what to charge, maybe start calling around to some of the other companies that are doing what you intend to do in order to figure out what your rates should be. So, for example, if you want to be a housekeeper in just residential homes exclusively, maybe call around to some of the residential cleaning companies and just say, hey, what is your hourly rate? Or can I get an estimate for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house with just one kitchen and, one living space and one dining room, kind of a thing, just like your standard average size home. So you can kind of get an idea and get a ballpark range of what you ought to be charging in your particular neighborhood. So I will share with you what I maybe charged in the beginning, what I would recommend for you to charge in your beginning if you are in a similar market essentially. So if once you do your due diligence and once you contact some local companies that are doing what you want to do, and if those rates seem similar, then this can be a good gauge for you as far as a dollar point to stick with. But your first area to focus on as a solo cleaner, if you want to branch out on your own, get your state license, get your LLC on your own. You do not need to pay a company. I'm big on that. You can do it on your own or right through your Secretary of State, and it's super duper easy. I did mine online, literally at night, like late at night. I just plugged away, and I am super not tech savvy, and I did it in a matter of like 10 minutes on my state's Secretary of State website. So there is that. So housekeeping, like a traditional residential housekeeper, in our market, in our field of work, we say that that is the low-hanging fruit, meaning once you start, you are going to get jobs referred to you and referred to you and referred to you and referred to you and referred to you, to the point where you will turn people away or consider growing your company. That just will happen if you stay with it for more than 6 months to a year, typically. That is where I was at kind of in the beginning. It was kind of growing quickly because if you're doing professional work, if you are trying your best, if you are trying to get better each and every week, and if you're really trying to learn more and do the best for your clients, and being punctual and having good communication, all those things play into it. But truly, I have shown up to jobs for a brand new client that I have never helped before, and they are handing me their friends' phone numbers and saying, hey, my friend needs you to call them and book an appointment. And they don't even know my quality of work yet. So just based on our communication and my professionalism so far, they were willing to generate a lead for me. So you're gonna have a lot of that in traditional housekeeping, and if you just want to stick with that, it's an excellent way to go. You can earn between, easily to start out, do not charge less than $20 an hour. Now you can always do a flat rate versus an hourly rate. And here's how you make the differential. So if I am doing a flat rate, I have a list of items that it's a checklist that I am doing those items and those items only. There's no extra stuff that we're doing on that checklist. We're just doing the checklist. And if that checklist takes me 2 hours one time and 4 hours another time, I still am going to charge the same flat rate versus an hourly rate where, yes, we have a generalized checklist, but sometimes I make accommodations and I might help out with this, that, and the next thing, like doing the extras, doing some extras here and there. So you decide how you want to approach your clients. I, for the most part, stick with an hourly rate because there were clients where I would stick to a flat rate, and they were fine, but those were the clients where I didn't want to do the extra tasks, where these other clients that I do the hourly rate for, I don't mind doing the extra tasks for, because They are always super kind to me. They always pay me really, really well. They always give me a really generous tip. And I tend to be a little bit more flexible with them on my schedule, and I try to be super duper accommodating. And because of that, I've been able to do like where I pop in just for like an hour and do like a pre-party touch-up for certain clients. And I've gotten paid like $100 just to show up for 1 hour of making her life possible, like making it easier. So I like to accommodate my clients like that. I like to be helpful like that. And I like to be flexible like that because now I can, because my normal week is only like 20 to 25 hours of actual clean time. So I don't mind being a little bit flexible like that, especially for clients that are so appreciative and so accommodating. So, but traditional home housekeeping is the easiest foot in the door. It's the easiest way you're going to get clients. I do intend to do a like super duper deep dive into like how to find cleaning clients, but I will say your easiest way is to go onto a site like a care.com, do that super cheap introductory background check, and then just start bidding on some jobs that you feel like might be a good fit for you. Do a complimentary walkthrough for these folks, and be real and honest and let them know your expectations, find out what their expectations are, and decide if you two are a good fit. If you are getting creepy vibes from that person when you do that walkthrough, or if you're getting inconsistent vibes, or if you just feel like, oh, I don't know, this person might not be 100% happy with my service, it is okay to say, I don't think we're going to be a good fit for each other. I do, however, have a company that I'd be happy to recommend you to. They get excellent reviews. She is a social media friend of mine, and I refer all of my clients that I cannot fit on my calendar over to her. May I send her your number? Because at least you're not leaving them high and dry. You're helping them find an alternative if that's what they're looking for. So that's typically how I process that. But otherwise, I've easily filled my my calendar with traditional housekeeping in-home jobs. Eventually, like I said, I just kept having so many that I thought about bringing people on. But at the end of the day, I decided not to really grow in that way. I was having a hard time finding quality people that I could trust to take care of my clients to the same standards that I would. And then when I would find those great people, they would eventually find full-time jobs in their desired field because they were going to school for, marketing, something a lot more like white collar, and they were looking for that job, and zero bad feelings. I was super happy that they were finding the work that they were intending to do. And so I just kind of decided to step back and only do the things that I could do 100% solo, all by myself, going forward. So that's why I kind of made that little transition, essentially. So another thing that I have tried, and you may see, there are social media groups to help you find the clientele for this. There are apps, I'm sure, if you looked them up. Again, I have not really looked into finding the work, so I'm not super up to date on, like, as of today's date where it's posting, all the things that are available to help you find work. as a professional cleaner, but for short-term rentals, so like an Airbnb or a Verbo type of rental. I have helped two different Airbnb owners, and then I interviewed for to be a property manager for another one, but that gentleman decided not to go with me, chose to go with somebody else that literally lived like right around the corner. So he was looking for more of like a person that could like drop everything and run over to the house, which at the end of the day, I was actually grateful for. That didn't not work out. But I will tell you, in my experience working with Airbnbs and in my experience of seeing the conversations in the social media groups for housekeepers that have worked short-term rentals, it is the probably least liked role in our little world, because the pay can tend to be rather low, not super great. Also, it can be a lot of work for not a lot of money, or a lot of work to try to cram into a 2-hour window. Well, for me, if I show up for a residential cleaning with less than 2 hours, I can't do anything in the home except for, like I was saying, like the little helping cleaning up with, like, just party prep kind of stuff. But as far as like a traditional cleaning of the home top to bottom, there's no way it will all get done in a 2-hour span. The problem with the short-term rentals is they have someone checking out at this time, and then they have a new person checking in at this time. And you have to get your work done in between those two slots. So the problem that I was having was that there would be people that were checking out, and then they would ask the owner, "Oh, can we get a late checkout?" So the owner would give them that late checkout. And then the new person would say, "Oh, can I get an early check-in?" My window of getting things clean and done was like disappearing or next to none. Now, I was lucky in that one of the Airbnb owners that I was regularly cleaning for, he was great in that he lived in the other half of the property, and he would get the laundry started before I would get there. And if you know that is the longest process, the longest time-consuming process of the switch out, other than the traditional cleaning and whatnot. So because he got the laundry all started, he would even change the bedding. And so really I was coming in there and just surface dusting and doing the floors and cleaning the bathroom and tidying up the kitchen and wiping like inside outside of the microwave, wiping inside outside of the fridge, really doing the high touch surface sanitation. So I was doing more of that, and then obviously making sure like the garbages were pristine and clean and all of that. So and he did not require a lot of restocks. So that's where it gets to be very time consuming and a lot for a housekeeper that has now become kind of a property manager and housekeeper, when they have to fill all these, restock all these things and keep inventory and do all of these extras, but they're not getting paid extra for it. So I am grateful that I didn't really push that and pursue that too much. Now, I do know some people that really thrive in that market or in that area, but for me, I did not do well, and I didn't love it. So that's why I'm not a big proponent on it. I don't really push that on it. Now, one thing I did really well for, and a lot of people referred me for this, but it would be a very last minute ish referral, would be for move in and move out cleans. Now, you can be very intentional about your move in, move out cleans, which maybe that's what I should have done, but I had them just randomly referred to me. So it would be a person would just message me and say, I was supposed to have a housekeeper come to help me do my move out clean, and they didn't show up, and I can't get a hold of them, and I need somebody, and I'm freaking out because my real estate agent is showing the house in 2 days, and I'm freaking out. And that's usually where I would come in. I would never overcharge them for the accommodation. If I could fit them on my calendar, I would. And if I could not, then I would be honest, and I would say, I cannot honestly fit you on my calendar, but I'm going to refer you to somebody who might be able to help, and give them a name and number, so they're not, again, left high and dry. But had I been more intentional with it, and sought out some real estate agents, that can be a really profitable way to earn some money. So for my move in, move out cleans, you can do more of a flat rate, but again, I would go in and give an in-person estimate, because you never know the layer of filth that you are working with until you do it. Or you can do what in the beginning, when I didn't know how to price it, and I didn't know how long it was going to take, and I didn't know all the things, I would go in and I would do the walkthrough and set the expectations of all the things that they wanted to be done, needed to be done, before we considered my job to be complete. And so I would go through the list, and they would say, okay, yes, 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 yes. And then I would say, okay, now are you on a budget? Are we doing, because I would tell them, this is my hourly rate. I would suggest, if you are brand new, do not charge less than $40 an hour. And you might choke a little bit trying to say that to a client, but it's true. There's a lot that you have to do. And as long as you are not standing around snacking, and you are working, and you are skilled, and you are coming in with all these products, and you are doing the best job. I am very economical with my time, meaning I know how to do things a little bit quicker. Like, my degreaser gets the grease off of things a whole lot quicker because I know how to use it and operate it. I know the right products to use to make the job go a lot quicker. So I kind of do that, and I'm not afraid to charge that rate. Me personally, I would charge $50 an hour for a move out clean if I did not know really how long it was going to take. And then I would say, do you have a particular budget in mind? I did have somebody that randomly reached out to me, and she had her housekeeper not show up for her move out clean. She was having a real estate agent show the house. But I checked in with her as I was proceeding, meaning she couldn't be there. So I was texting her to let her know I got in the house, got in your lockbox, and all of that. But I also texted her to let her know, okay, so your budget was this, and I have done 7 hours of work, and my total right now, your bill right now with me stands at this amount of dollars. How much more do you want me to work, essentially? And I would tell her, I've done this, 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 and this. I also need to do this, 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 and this. I can come back tomorrow and do those things. I do have 6 hours or 8 hours or however many hours I have in that day to dedicate to her project, I do have those hours available. When should I stop? How many hours do you want me to do? And I am being as, fast but efficient but effective in my cleaning. So, and if you use those words, I feel like that's going to be a lot, and do the work too to back it up too. And a lot of people will say, "Oh, yep, we're kind of reaching the limit. Like I don't have more than these dollars in my bank account to give you for the job." So, and just being honest and being open and having that open dialogue with your clients can really go a long way. So I definitely recommend doing that. But you decide what works for you. I just feel like if I had done a flat rate for a lot of these clients, they would have taken advantage of me. Even the people that maybe you know what I mean? Like, you don't know your relationship with people sometimes until like money gets involved. And so if, being fair to both parties, I feel like at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. So, and being honest. Now, that one clean out, the real estate agent showed up a couple of times and was kind of like trying to say like I hadn't done all of the tasks that he would have wanted me to do. And I'm like, well, you're not my boss. My client is my boss, and she has asked me to do these things. So I'm going to stick with what I am paid to do by the person who's paying me. But thank you. I appreciate your guidance. If you'd like to step in and do those tasks, because what he was wanting me to do was tip in all the windows and do all the exterior windows. And if you know that windows are an all-day project on a home. They really can be that way. They might not take all that much, but it might take a half a day. But for me to truly 100% do tipping in the windows and vacuuming and all the track and the sill, then yes, it can be a half a day to a full day project. And I'm like, and your client didn't have the budget for it. So I am sticking to what she told me and what she's paying me to do. But if you'd like to do it, you can absolutely do it. And that's where I kill them with kindness. That's how I operate. The other thing that I didn't really get into because my business grew, but I was really attracted to it. And if I ever needed to find cleaning clients again, I would definitely pursue this route. So it's senior living apartments. They always have a lobby. They always have a guest area. They always have like a laundry room, maybe even a little kitchen, like a party room, probably a front office, wider hallways, and the hallways might get a little dusty. So you can look into a lot of those senior apartment living, just like the 55 and up, apartments, or even assisted living or nursing homes, potentially. So looking into things like that, or even luxury apartments, high-rise condos, those loft apartments, those are really well maintained. These folks pay very good rent, and they want to have a nice, clean, tidy space and a welcoming space for themselves and their guests, especially in senior communities, because a lot of them will have healthcare workers coming in and out, and and a lot of guests as well. But it's nice to have a welcoming space for yourself and your guests to come in. So a lot of those places will pay well. I would say I'm charging around $50 an hour. But again, that would be something that I would do an estimate for, and I'll be doing a separate video kind of breaking down all of like the estimates. But doing an estimate for, and you would charge a flat rate for that versus an hourly rate. Figure out how long it's going to take you and charge that. I would, if I were pricing one today, I would charge no less than $50 a man hour based on my estimate of what it would take for me to get the job done. I never estimate a job less than 2 hours though. So if I go through a place and I'm like, oh, it's only going to take me an hour, I always estimate it at 2, so that, and it doesn't start any less than 2 hours for an estimate for a professional place, for a commercial type job, right? No less than 2 hours. The reason being is that you can have snags at your professional places. So, and that was the next thing that I will go into is small offices and small workspaces. So I do have a couple of offices that I regularly clean for at this point. I have cleaned for a series of different offices, from like just a random like initial deep clean or just some random things here and there. But small offices are my personal favorite outside of like my core group of homes that I clean in at this point. But I love my small offices because it's just me. I go in when the place is closed. So I will go in. There's one that I clean early in the morning, not super duper early. It's not like anything crazy. And then there's another one that I clean after their office is closed, but they're normal, traditional 9 to 5 business hours. So it's not that bad. Like I go at like 6 o'clock and then I take myself out to dinner afterwards, something like that. So it's really not that bad. And at this point, those jobs only take me an hour to like an hour and 15 minutes from top to bottom to do all my checks, like all my tasks off of my list. So I love my offices to clean because they're easy. I know what I need to do from top to bottom, and it's something that if I needed to have someone else take it over for me, it'd be really easy to just train them and merge them in. Now, when I first did most of these places, well, the 2 offices that I'm still doing currently, my initial deep clean was probably like double to triple the time that I'm now currently spending there just doing regular weekly maintenance cleans, which is really incredible. So I love that they're easy. I turn on music and I just like go for it for the next hour. And the awesome part is that these places on average, like I'm averaging in my small offices about $70 to $100 an hour. Maybe a little bit more, depending on how like quick I am on my time. But that's amazing that I can make that great of money in just that short amount of time. And, and then I'm done. Like once those jobs are like done for the day, then I'm done for the day. And I don't have a long work day like so many other people that I know. So I just want to encourage and empower you to really earn what you are worth. If you are dedicated, if you are committed to quality, if you love helping others, and if you really just want to maybe work less and earn more and earn a more livable wage, I want to encourage you to explore some options that might be a really great fit for you. So drop down in the comments, tell us which of these ideas you might want to try. If you've tried any of the ideas, tell us why you liked it, why you didn't like it. And you know what? I believe in you and I am always here to support your growth. So please stay connected with us. Like, share, comment, all the things to help that algo, and let us know in the comments how we can be a better service to you. Thanks so much for watching.